Their first lesson was history. Everyone was still talking about Gemma. She could hear them. Even when the teacher arrived, they didn't stop. "Quiet," said the teacher. But no one stopped talking. "I said quiet," he shouted again. "I hope everyone did their homework because we're going to start with a short test." Now it was quiet. Everyone was listening. Gemma looked at Amy and made a face. They were like each other in a lot of ways. They both loved music, but they weren't very good in their other classes. Perhaps that was why they were best friends. Amy's mouth made the words, "I forgot about the homework." "Me too," replied Gemma. "Question 1," the teacher started. "Which street did the Great Fire of London start in?" Gemma wasn't very good at history. There was too much to remember, and she wasn't interested in things that happened long ago. She wrote the first thing that came into her head for each question, but she knew most of the answers were wrong. Out of the 20 questions, she thought 5 of them were right. At the end, she gave her paper to Amy. The teacher read out the answers, and they checked each other's papers. Amy gave Gemma her paper back and smiled. "Wow, Gemma," she said quietly, so the teacher couldn't hear. "You did do your homework. But why did you say you forgot?" Gemma looked at her paper. 20 out of 20 correct. She couldn't understand it. She turned to Amy. "Why did you give me 20? The teacher is going to be angry with both of us." "But you got them all right," Amy said. She looked at her paper. "I only got 6 right." "Is there a problem, Gemma?" the teacher asked. "Amy didn't check my test correctly. I was just asking her," said Gemma. The teacher took Gemma's paper and read the answers quickly. "Wow, 20 out of 20. That's a lovely surprise, Gemma. Well done." Some people in the class clapped. "Go, Gemma," shouted one of the boys. Gemma didn't know what to say. She felt her face go red. She couldn't argue with the teacher, but she knew some of her answers were wrong. Perhaps he was trying to be kind because she didn't do well. But that wasn't like him. It wasn't like any teacher. Perhaps he's going to talk to me about it after the class, she thought. She worried about it for the rest of the lesson, but the teacher didn't ask to see her at the end. The afternoon was as strange as the morning. Now it wasn't only the people in Gemma's class who wanted to see the phone. Older students she didn't know were coming and asking to look at it. "It's really cool, Gemma," said one older girl. "Tell us how you got it," said another older girl. "It's not really a big story," said Gemma. "It's just a new phone. A man in the shop said I could try it for 2 weeks. Then I have to tell him what I think of it." "That's so exciting," the girl said. "What an amazing story." "What?" Gemma thought. To her surprise, more and more people came to listen. She told them about the old man and the phone, too. They asked her to tell the story again and again. Soon, everyone knew who Gemma was. She felt like someone famous. She was the coolest person in school. She stopped thinking that the story was nothing special. It was special to everyone else, and that was enough. "How was school?" asked her mother when she came home from work. "Okay," said Gemma, "but a bit strange." "Yes, your history teacher emailed me today. He told me what you got in the test." Oh no, Gemma thought. She knew that there was something strange about that test. But why didn't the teacher talk to her about it? Why did he email her mother? Now she had a big problem. "I don't know what happened. I don't know why I did so well in the test," said Gemma. Her mother wasn't listening. "It's wonderful that you're doing so well in school. All your teachers are really happy with you, and I am too." Gemma didn't know what to say. "Thanks. I think I'm going to go to my room and do some homework." Her mother smiled. "That's why you're so good in school." Gemma went to her room. She had a math test the next day, and she wanted to study. But first she watched some TV. Then she looked at her maths book for 10 minutes before dinner. After dinner, there was a good film on TV, so she watched that. Soon it was too late to study. "I can study tomorrow morning," she thought, as she went to sleep. In the morning, Gemma looked at her maths book while she was eating breakfast. It wasn't enough time. She was afraid when she went to her maths class and did the test. But when she got her paper back, she had an A. "Well done, Gemma," said the teacher. "Again? You said you didn't study," said Amy. "I only looked at my book for a few minutes," Gemma said. "You're just much cleverer than me," said Amy. Gemma didn't know what to say. She didn't know why she was suddenly doing so well at school. "Someone is going to ask me why sooner or later. What am I going to say?" she thought. In the afternoon, they had a tennis lesson. Gemma put her phone into her pocket. She didn't want anyone to look at it while she was playing. Gemma liked tennis, but she wasn't very good at it. She played with Amy while the teacher watched. "Very good, Gemma," the teacher said when Gemma hit the ball to Amy. But the ball was out. "No, it was out," Gemma told her teacher. No, it was in," said Amy. 15-0. Gemma hit the ball to Amy again. She thought it was out again, but no one said anything. Amy couldn't hit it back, so it was 30-0 to Gemma. Then Gemma hit the ball into the net, but the teacher said it was 40-0 to Gemma. Soon, Gemma stopped trying to hit the ball well because she won all the time anyway. They played 6 games and Gemma won all of them. "Gemma, you can play with Robert now," the teacher decided. "You need someone who can play as well as you." "But I can't play well," Gemma thought, and she fell. "But I can't play well," Gemma thought, and she felt her face go red. Robert was a very good-looking boy from another class. She was usually too afraid to speak to him. She did not want to look stupid in front of Robert. "He won't want to play with me," she thought. "I'm terrible, and he's in the school team." She went to play with Robert and waited for him to hit the ball. He smiled at her, but not in a very friendly way. He hit the ball hard to Gemma. To Gemma's surprise, she hit it back to him. It was out, but Robert ran for the ball anyway. He hit it, but it went up and came back down on his side. "Well played," he said. But he didn't look happy about it. Robert hit the ball harder and harder. Gemma wasn't playing very well, but she was still winning. "He's angry with me," she thought. Every time Gemma made a mistake, Robert said she was winning. They played for 40 minutes until the class finished. Robert was red from running everywhere, but Gemma wasn't. After the game, Robert said something surprising. "Maybe we can practice at the weekend. It looks like I need it." Robert wanted to play tennis with her. Gemma couldn't believe it. "Who cares if I'm good at tennis or not?" she thought. "I don't care why this is happening. Everyone will be so jealous that Robert and I are spending time together." That would be great, she answered, and smiled at Robert. English was next, and, while they were walking to class, Amy asked to see the phone again. Gemma showed it to her, but a boy tried to take it from her hands. "Stop it," shouted Amy. "I was looking at that. It's my friend's phone." "What's going on here?" It was their English teacher. "Gemma's got a new phone, miss," replied Amy. "You know you mustn't play with phones in class. Give it to me," said the teacher. Jenna suddenly remembered the old man's word. "I'm sorry, miss," she argued. "I can't give it to you. It's only for me." But she stopped speaking when she saw the teacher's angry face. She gave her the phone. What else could she do? The teacher was looking at the phone. "Very funny," she said. She read from the screen. "Give me back to Jenna. This is Jenna's phone. It's not for teachers." "Sorry, Gemma. Phones are not for class." She put it in her pocket. "How did you do that?" Amy asked when they sat down. "I didn't," Gemma answered. "I don't know how it knew." But Amy wasn't listening to her. She was looking at the teacher. "Shh," Amy said. "This is my favorite class." Gemma was surprised. "But you hate English." "Everyone open your books at page 10, said the teacher. "Oh, good. I love this book," said one boy. "Me too," agreed another boy. The teacher looked different in some way. Her clothes were really cool. Her hair was a beautiful color, and her eyes were so blue. Actually, Gemma thought, Amy's right. This is my favorite class too. This class was so interesting that Gemma forgot about the strange way the phone knew things. At the end of the lesson, most of the students wanted to say thank you to the teacher. "What a great class," said one girl. "Yes, thanks, miss. Are we doing that book again next time?" said Amy. The teacher smiled, but she looked very surprised. "Oh, I'm happy you like it. We're doing this book until the holidays, the same as always." "You've got a really pretty smile, miss," said Gemma. "Yes, Gemma. You can have your phone back. I know that's what you mean." "I forgot about the phone," said Gemma, and it was true. The teacher gave it back to her. "Don't forget to keep it in your bag in class, Gemma." Gemma put the phone in her bag. When she looked up, she couldn't believe her eyes. The teacher's hair was gray again, and her eyes weren't special at all. Even her clothes were different, brown and boring. Gemma thought she was starting to understand what was happening.